Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and today I wanted to talk about using the PLD, otherwise known as the Personal Laser Designator. Now there's three primary reasons and ways to use this, and the first of which is the most obvious, and that's spotting. It's going to spot enemy targets from a good distance with the thermal vision. It's going to help not only yourself find targets, but it's going to help all your troops on the ground know where enemy targets are at so they can engage them at the same time, giving everybody a better chance at victory. The second is where this gadget kind of replaces the old SOFLAM from Battlefield 3. And it gives the troops on the ground the ability to lock on to targets that you've targeted and release explosive ordnance. Like the RPGs, for some reason, are guided in this game. But it's a really effective way to not only just make sure that these vehicles are actually showing up on the map, but if you're working in conjunction with other squads or people in your squads that have explosives, they can actually send them their way. And like you see here, this chopper gets hit, which not only gets you points selfishly, but takes down the threat. Now the third here is actually range finding, and in the red circle you'll see that I had 271 highlighted. Now the 271 is actually the distance to the target where the crosshairs are at. You can see in the yellow circle it's at the face of the building. Now if you actually hit V when you got a sniper rifle out, you can adjust your scope so the crosshairs are going to point to that distance. Now 271 is pretty close to 300, so by hitting the V button a couple times I was able to zero in my scope to 300 meters. And here's that clip actually in action. And you can see that it's much easier to actually get on target. Now, obviously, I missed there, but there's some there's some technical difficulties. But that's the best way to actually zero in on your target. Now, I think we're all going to get better as we snipe more and more, and we'll be able to kind of get to a point where this isn't actually necessary. But it is a nice tool to have, especially as we learn the firing mechanics. So, pull out your PLD. You can actually figure out how far away your target is, and whether you need to adjust your scope or not, that's helpful. Now, you can zero in your scope by hitting V, and it's going to go from, basically it's going to go start at 200 meters, then go to 300, and then 500 and 1,000. Hitting V again resets it down to 0. The one thing that you want to keep in mind is if you're using this, be careful, because if you leave it on 200 and then all of a sudden you have to engage a target at close range, you're going to be pretty likely to actually shoot way over your target, and that's never a good feeling. So kind of reserve this for longer distance sniping or more traditional sniping. If you're taking a more aggressive recon role, I would suggest leaving it on 0, or just be really aware of where your scope is currently zeroed into so you can adjust that on the fly. So, that's it for today's PLD BF4 quick tip. Stay tuned for much more, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.